Richards trying to scoot in there alone. It pinballs to the crease. Score!
Let's get it.
Oh my God! Here we go.
You're listening to the Street Blues Podcast with your hosts, Derrik.
Now you gonna get it, Bobby.
John. Matt Casey.
Unnecessary, but totally necessary.
And Hoagie.
What's not to love?
What's happening, everybody? Welcome to the second ever Pod Street Pregame. We're going to be talking the Devils game coming up here on Sunday evening. With me is my man, Hoagie. What's happening, brother?
What's going on, Derrik?
Not much, man. So the first pregame we did, what was that, Thursday? No, that was Friday. No, John and Matt Casey took care of the pregame for the Carolina game. Carolina ended up beating us 6-3. It was not a great game by any means. Flyers scored more than 2 goals, which is okay, but we're here to focus on the Devils game. So let's get right into it. We're coming off of a rough loss on Black Friday. What are your just general thoughts on what we can expect to see out of the Flyers here against New Jersey Sunday night?
Another beaten, battered lineup with Nate Thompson now having a what do you have? That shoulder dislocation. That's going to hurt us again in the lineup. So Max Willman's slotting in. Looks like fourth line minute. Or no, he's going to the wing, and Bunneman's going to the center. So that our center depth is being exposed once again. It'll be a tough game for our lines to get rolling.
Oh, for sure. It's going to be frustrating watching this. I can tell you that. I'm not going to be happy, especially against New Jersey. I mean, we all hate New Jersey, really. We're looking at a team that we're tied with in the standings right now. We're looking at a team that's coming off of 2 straight losses. Flyers have 4 or 5 straight 4 losses in a row now. 5 losses in a row right now. 2 teams in desperate need of a win to keep up in a stacked Metro division. We're looking at a Flyers team too that, right now their penalty kill is looking good. It's encouraging. Power play, on the other hand, completely different story. I mean, what do you think? Who's got the edge in terms of special teams here, Hoagie?
It sounds like it's going to be a pretty evenly matched special teams game because the Devils are just right there with us in the basement in terms of power play and penalty kill. So I'd hope this is a game where the Flyers can, figure out their power play woes and pot some goals if they're even given the chance. I mean, some of these refs lately have just been absolutely terrible in making some calls lately.
Oh, sure. I mean, it's that Carolina. There were a few in the Carolina game. There were a few games before. It's. Yep. I mean, I'm not one to sit here and blame refs for anything, but good God, come on.
When it's blatant, you got to call it.
Exactly. No, you're absolutely right. And I want to kind of backtrack to how everything went last year. Last year, again, crazy year, very different compared to what this year is. But the Flyers and Devils played against each other 8 times. They split the entire season series 4-4. There was, let's see here, the Flyers were allowing 27 shots on net against the Devils last year. To the 29.25 that they were taking per game. So encouraging. What do you think? Are we going to see a Flyers team that's going to be peppering? What is it? Mackenzie Blackwood, I'm assuming, is going to be in net for them, correct?
I think that's who would be in. If it's not him, it's who do they have? Bernier.
Bernier.
Yeah. I mean, surprisingly enough, the Flyers do take a lot of shots during games. It doesn't seem like it, but I think it was the Florida goal where they had 13, 14, 15 shots in the first period. I was like, I don't remember seeing them take 15 shots in the first period. And I think they ended up with 30-something shots or 40-something shots. So, I mean, they're taking their shots, but I don't even know if they're making it really to the net or if they're actually high-quality shots. So, I mean, I'd like them to actually make some high-quality shots and to keep peppering these these Devils because, I mean, they're right there with us. Any shot will go in.
For sure. Yeah. And I mean, we're looking at a team right now in the Flyers that's averaging, around 31 shots a game. They're giving up almost 35 shots a game, though. So a little bit of an area for concern. Last year, if we're looking at goals, the Flyers were averaging around 3.4 goals in these games against Jersey, but they were giving up 3.5. So, pretty evenly matched there. The power play was much better than what their season average was against the Devils. The penalty kill was marginally better, like nothing crazy. But you never know what to expect with these types of games, the rivalry games especially. So, I'm looking forward to seeing exactly how this is going to pan out because, again, like we mentioned before, we've got two teams right now that are battling it out in a stacked Metro division, and they're, middle to bottom of the field. In terms of guys to look at and to keep an eye on, who's your one player that you think is going to make a difference for the Flyers here tomorrow night?
Oh boy, it's kind of tough to tell right now with this lineup, but I got to go with Farabee. He's got goals in back-to-back games, and that dirty shorthanded goal that he pulled off against Carolina should get him rolling for the next couple of games, hopefully. So I hope he continues to be confident on his stick and make some good plays.
I think that's key, and I think you bring up a really good point is the confidence. I think this could really get Farabee rolling. The shorthanded goal was a thing of beauty. Yeah. I mean, I was sitting at my desk at work watching it, and I saw it, and I'm like, that's great, man. That was a really nice goal. But, confidence, getting him rolling, maybe getting him back to form from last year, because last year we saw the Joel Farabee that we all knew he was capable of being. For me personally, it's got to be Carter Hart. If Hart gets the start, which
he doesn't,
he's not. Oh, it's Martin Jones.
In that. Yep.
Well, then it's Martin Jones. I mean, he's coming off of a good game. What was it against Florida? I mean, it hit a fantastic. Was it Florida or who did he play last?
Didn't he play? No, he did play Florida last, I think.
He did.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a fantastic game. He made some great saves. He played really well. After coming off of two kind of subpar performances, that one against Dallas and I believe the other one was against Boston.
Yep.
So, it was a great way to rebound for Martin Jones. I really do think that he could be the difference maker. The goalie's really been the difference maker all year.
All season, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I think we're going to keep an eye on the goalies here. John wants to leave his mark on the show here tonight as well. I figured I'd pull that up.
Thanks,
I'm used
John.
to being the dumb one, so you can't really catch me off guard there. But so let's talk about just overall how everything is heading into this, because we're seeing injuries just pile up.
Yep.
Is there any reprieve in the future here? Like, are we going to be looking at a team that's just going to be struggling with this for the foreseeable future? Or is there something on the horizon? Like, can we expect Chuck Fletcher maybe to dip into the trade market and see if we can kind of shake things up a little bit?
I mean, at this point, I'm fully expecting Fletcher to look into the trade market. I mean, It goes from the Flyers down to the Phantoms. The Phantoms have like 8 guys out tonight, and it's just unbelievable. Like, when we get the injury bug, we really got the injury bug. So it's like it's killing us. I know one of them's Cam York with COVID protocol, which is a little scary right there. But I hope that a lot of it's not serious, and it sounds like some people are starting to get back. Like Morin was on the ice today. That's huge. Hopefully, we can slot him on the bottom pairing of the defense. But Chuck has got to be making some phone calls and making some texts to some other GMs around the league, seeing what's available.
Now, at this point, too, we've seen a lot of Nate Seeler. Obviously, he's been playing admirably. I'll put it that way.
Right.
It started off the season, looked fine. I thought he was a very serviceable third pairing guy. If Morin comes back healthy, do you think that he could take over for Seeler and stick in that role, or do you think that's going to be something where it maybe matchup centric? Are you looking at maybe alternating every other game, whatever? What do you think? Does Morin really fit with this team anymore?
I mean, I feel like you have to alternate him when he comes back because I don't think he's going to be ready to go right away. I mean, he's played 20 games last season, I think, something around that rate. But even in those games, I feel like we kind of protected his play because he's not. We can't have him straining that leg way too much. I mean, he was supposed to be like 6 to 8, and it's been 10 to 12 at this point or something like that. It's kind of ridiculous at what it is. So you kind of have to protect him in a way and let him do his thing. Let him play, but protect his minutes.
Sure. Now, I want to point this out too. I know you're probably looking at the comments as well. Again, John wants to make his mark on the show. But he does bring up a good point, and I'll give him that. It's the only thing I'm going to give him this episode. But he can make any trade he wants unless there's changes made in the coaching, and we're going to experience the same crap. And he's saying this is a systems issue. Do you agree with what John has to say about that, Hoagie?
Absolutely. The systems aren't working. We've said it on the actual show before. AV's system is defensive based, and it's turning on the transition. This team, yeah, it can work on the transition, but we need a team that's offensively going to stick it to somebody one of these games, and it's not happening. It hasn't happened in a month. I think it was October 27th, the last time we potted 5 or 6 goals against Edmonton. They've gone off the deep end here, and they need to find their offensive talents.
And I mean, it looked like Kristen Hogan totally agrees with all of the above. So you're making some great points, Hoagie. I want to bring that up and make sure you're aware. But no, I think John's onto something there, and I believe this is probably something we're going to touch on our weekly episode here, where we discuss bigger topics. But I just don't know if a trade is going to do it. I don't know if it's going to kick this team in the pants and get the results that we want. So unless things change, and I mean, that's again a topic for another time here, which would be Monday night. But I really do think this is a bigger issue because I mean, we talked about it last offseason. I mean, what did we say? All these player changes. Now it's on the coaches because they made the locker room a completely different dynamic. So it's up to the coaches now, and we're starting to see that. I don't even know what we're starting to see. Like it just doesn't. It's not working.
We need to see the players buy into the systems, which it doesn't seem like they are right now. So it's tough to watch.
Sure, absolutely, absolutely tough to watch. Now I wanted to go back to this Devils game here real quick and touch on the goaltender situation. So with Martin Jones starting, obviously I don't have his numbers in front of me and how he does against the Devils. I'm assuming there's a limited sample size because he spent most of his career on the West Coast, but when we're looking at Carter Hart, again, limited sample size, but we're looking at a guy that has a .924 save percentage and a .256 just last year against the Devils. All throughout his career, he got a .923 save percentage and a 2.2 goals against in, I believe it's 5 games, and he's 3-2-0 against this team. Do you think it's the right call to put Martin Jones in net against the Devils, or do you think that this should be something Hart should be up to the task for?
I mean, both goaltenders have proven that they're up for the task for the Devils. I think Carter Hart was kind of strung out to dry against the Canes on Friday, and I think this kind of gives them a break. They had 6 games in 9 days this weekend and this week coming up. So I think they're going to balance the workload now. I mean, now it's 5 games because we have the Islanders game canceled on Tuesday, but you still have to balance the workload and give Jones some starts in there. So I actually like Jones in there. I think he'll help spark something for the boys on the back end.
I got to kind of disagree. And I think most of it lies with the fact that they have had a couple days off. Like they'll have today off, they'll get practice, and everything. And then Sunday night, it's your normal, play a game, have a day off, play another game. I really do think that, maybe we're looking at it from a standpoint of with last year and how everything unfolded, are we trying to not necessarily, I don't want to say cater because that kind of carries like a negative connotation, but like, are we trying to baby him a little bit and be like, it's okay, man, he had a rough out, we're going to start Martin Jones in the next one. We'll see how he does. Like, I feel like that could almost hit his confidence more than AV just saying, listen, shake it off, get back out there, do what you do best, and that is be a goalie.
Right.
But again,
You never,
not why.
you never
that's
know.
why, yeah, and that's not why I'm the head coach.
Right.
Or that's why I'm not the head coach. No, overall, I mean, I think we're going to keep it short here. It's just about 15 minutes, but like, what do we have any predictions? Do you want to take a stab at how do you think this game's going to unfold?
I think this is going to be a hard-fought game between both teams. They're both on losing streaks. It's a divisional game. They're both tied at 20 points in the Metro. I think it's going to be hard-fought, and I really need the Flyers to win this game, so I'm going to go Flyers 4-2 in regulation.
Goals.
Yeah, you gotta pepper shots. I'm going for it.
Man, this will be the first time they've scored more than 3 goals, or this will be the first time they scored 4 goals since that Edmonton game we discussed earlier.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think they'll make it interesting. I could see this being like a 3-1 game, maybe 3-2.
You
We'll
got to
see.
win in regulation, though.
Yeah, you cannot afford to give New Jersey the loser point here. Yeah, you got to go for the throat, and you got to take them out in regulation here. But yeah, man, I think we've got another episode here, a full episode coming up here. We're going to be recording Monday night, so we'll be ready for you guys Tuesday. And then the rest of the week, we're going to try to keep up with these pre-games, maybe the night before like we're doing tonight. We do have to work. We have full-time jobs. But, we'll keep everybody posted on that, how that's going to go. And then be on the lookout for the Pod Street Bullies weekly episode here coming out Tuesday morning. Until then, Hoagie, where are the listeners and viewers going to be able to find you, man?
Find me at Pod Street Hoags on the Twitter.
Solid.
Give it a like, a retweet, and a follow.
Oh, yeah. All right, you can find me on Twitter at Pod Street Bob, John Matt Casey, Pod Street Gove, Pod Street Casey. For Matt Casey, that is spelled out the entire way. And Pod Street Bullies, the 4 of us are on Twitter at Pod ST Bullies. But yeah, until then, I'll leave you as I've always left you guys with a Let's Go Flyers.
Bye now.